Welcome back. I am Alejandra Marin, and today I will talk about consumer markets and business markets. Imagine two transactions. On the one hand, your car is giving you a lot of trouble, so you might need to buy a new car soon. And on the other hand, you are thirsty and want to go to the next vending machine to get something to drink. So these two transactions have similarities but also have differences. So in this video, we will talk about this. More specifically, I will explain the differences between habitual decision making, limited problem solving, and extended problem solving. And I will explain the differences between consumer markets and business markets. Today, we realize that people have different approaches to make decisions. Sometimes we engage in a very detailed process in which we analyze different alternatives before making a final purchase. Let's say, for instance, when you buy a car. But in many other occasions, like for instance when you buy soda, snacks, or tickets to go and see a movie, we are quick and we follow our impulses. Researchers find it convenient to think in terms of an effort continuum that is anchored on the one end by habitual decision making, such as deciding to purchase a box of cereal, and at the other end by extended problem solving, such as deciding to purchase a new car. Many decisions fall somewhere in the middle and are characterized by limited problem solving. This means that consumers do some work to make a decision, but not a great deal. Some examples are, for instance, a new pair of running shoes, or when you need to buy a new dress to go out with friends. The effort that we put on these decisions depends on our level of involvement. Involvement is the importance of the perceived consequences of the purchase to the person. We tend to be more involved in the decision-making process for products that we think are risky in some way. For high-involvement purchases, such as when we buy a house or when we buy a car, we are more likely to carefully process all the available information and to have thought about the decision well before we buy the item. High-involvement purchases are also purchases that involve high perceived risk. Perceived risk exists when there is uncertainty about the product. The product is complex or hard to understand. The buyer will be embarrassed if he or she chooses the wrong product. In low-involvement situations, the consumer's decision is often a result to environmental cues, such as when you decide to try a new type of cereal because the grocery store prominently displays it at the end of the aisle. Under these circumstances, managers must concentrate on how a store displays products at the time of purchase to influence the decision maker. The consumer usually perceives less risk in these transactions. You and me, we are consumers, and we buy products in what is called business-to-consumers markets. But businesses also buy products. They use what is called business-to-business markets. There are important distinctions between these two markets. Let's see what these distinctions look like. Imagine yourself buying a pair of jeans. Now imagine Macy's buying jeans. Macy's needs to buy a lot of different jeans sizes, a lot of different styles for all its customers. So transactions in business markets are different from transactions in consumer markets in 4 specific ways. In businesses, decisions are frequently made by multiple buyers, called buying groups, and the final decision maker is typically someone other than the user of the product. The decision-making process also differs as it is made after careful weighing of alternatives based on rational criteria, such as precise technical specifications, and also based on product expertise from the buying group. there is also a limited number of large businesses acting as consumers, resulting in products being frequently purchased directly from the producer. Once satisfactory transactions have been made, long-term relationships typically develop between consumers and producers. A third key difference is that unlike consumers who are literally spread out through the country, organizational buyers are often geographically concentrated. Finally, business purchases frequently involve high risk and high cost. Therefore, the process may require competitive bidding, price negotiations, and complex financial arrangements. All these differences make personal selling the best marketing promotional tool. In fact, most marketers in B2B markets use personal selling over advertising. In this lecture, we have talked about consumer decision-making and business decision-making. We have talked about the different types of decisions, and we have also talked about the differences between consumer markets and business markets. We are consumers, so we know more about the consumer markets. But I hope that this discussion had opened important and interesting aspects of marketing in the business markets. Our textbook has more information about this. I hope you keep reading. Thank you for watching.